more on President's message. Mr. Shekharia, senior journalist, is joining me at the moment. Mr. Iya, thank you very much for joining us this evening on Doordarshan News. The President's message was clear. He said that emotions should not override reason in every event, that's happening. We must always see reason, and that emotions should not override or overtake reason. But the importance of reason is what the President referred to, and the importance of debate and discussion is what the President said, that in case of any difference of opinion, difference of views that there may be in any scenario, debate and discussions is the only way out.
Yeah, I think President had spoken about earlier. He had spoken about this incidents which were described as indications of incidents of intolerance, and today he spoke on a different dimension to that what we just saw. We saw writers returning their awards, followed by scientists and more people, and which resulted in a lot of political heat, because the manner in which this whole thing was happening, an impression was given that something terrible was happening in the country, and it was in great magnitude, and that a course correction is not possible, or that things are lost for good. Now the President's message today is essentially that it's quite possible there are incidents which trouble our minds, and particularly those of us who are very sensitive, we may be in that moment of extreme despair. Oh, this kind of thing is happening, and we may act in a manner which will not convey the correct message, because after all, this is a huge country which has such a huge population, so many towns and villages. After all, these incidents which are, whenever they take place, say somewhere, they are serious by themselves, but at the same time, rest of the country, communities are living in amity, the day-to-day life is going on. So one needs to temper our reaction in a manner that it doesn't become overboard, and when you go overboard, you are conveying a completely different message, which is not going to help the situation. Also, for us to understand, this country is a great country, and we have a Constitution of India, we have constitutional mechanism. Now, should we lose hope in the institutions that the Constitution has created? Should we lose hope that this country cannot self-correct? So the President's message is particularly to writers, because they are supposed to be people who should be showing the path, even as they reflect whatever is happening in the society. So basically this is a message to the need for balance, even in our reaction. We can always have a discussion, debate, go into the merits and demerits of any evolving situation, but to lose a sense of proportion and make a huge can distort the reality.
Sure. The President advocated, like you said, Mr. A, the President advocated a balanced expression of concern over such events. In the recent past, the incidents that we have seen, the President's message coming today assumes significance in the light of those events, and the President also saying, to the writers that the awards that they have received, they must be valued and cherished. So, the importance of awards, and of course, like I said, debate and discussions is the only way forward in case there may be a difference of opinion.
Because, you see, awards are given in recognition of merit, talent, and whatever. And they are done by bodies which consists of professionals like them. It's a peer evaluation, actually. It's a peer recognition that somebody has written a great work of art, or somebody has contributed to the film world, or whatever, different categories award. But so when you return the award, what kind of message are you trying to convey? Okay, you may think that you are trying to send a message of disapproval to whoever is the government in the government today, but it conveys a different meaning, because after all, this award was given to you in recognition of your talent, in recognition of your achievement. To return it. And also, I think what the President is unstated, but when he talks of balance and debate, see, take for instance the recent returning award. Naturally, it generated political heat, because you were having elections in Bihar. So, see, the writers themselves finally had to face accusation that they were doing this in order to serve a particular political cause. See, that is something which is not, which shows that everything is somewhat politically motivated.
Right. The President also spoke about how India is and will always remain a tolerant nation. The Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting, Mr. Rathore, also spoke about that. They said that various challenges may emerge from time to time, but we must remember that those issues and those events and those scenarios need to be addressed collectively, and that the tolerance that the country possesses, that the country has, is a strength.
Yep, you see, as writers, as intellectuals, they too have a duty. Yes, they must speak up whenever they feel that injustice is done or things are bad. But at the same time, they have a role. They have a role in the sense they must strengthen that debate.
And a responsible role.
A responsible role, because even in the President's address, he told the media also, look, all the time you give a picture of gloom and darkness and
called upon the media to play a very sensible and important role.
Media has a tremendous impact on collective consciousness. Therefore, even as you think you are presenting the reality before your readers or before your audience, you must also remember that's not the entire picture. Somewhere along, we owe it to ourselves and to this great country that in whatever we do, there is balance, so that people get to perceive the reality as it is,
sure.
not in terms of fear,
sure.
not in terms of total helplessness, because that is not what the country is today.
Right. All right, Mr. Iyer, thanks very much for joining us this evening and sharing your perspective with us here on Doordarshan News. Thank you very much.